Hi, my name is Chris Johnson. I am a sake samurai, known as the Sake Ninja, and I've been working with sake for over 20 years.
My name is Timothy Sullivan, and I'm a sake educator and a sake samurai located in New York City, New York.
I am Monica Samuels. I am the Vice President of Sake and Spirits for Vine Connections.
What is sake? Sake is a fermented beverage made from rice. We utilize yeast, water, and koji.
Thinking about how to define sake, I always like to say that it's built like a beer but drinks like a wine.
You may be asking yourself what a sake samurai is. Now, the Sake Samurai title is actually given out by the Japan Sake Brewers Association, and it really recognizes people in Japan and outside of Japan who are doing work to promote the Japanese sake industry.
Cherry blossoms are a symbol of Japan and are often given to other countries to share their beauty. To the rice farmers, the sakura, or cherry blossoms, really represented the beginning of spring because they bloom just about the same time when they prepare the rice fields and sow the fields to plant the rice that will later become sake.
Now, if you get a chance to visit Japan, touring a sake brewery is something that will surely be a highlight of your trip. The local tourism office is a great place to start. You can ask them if they have any breweries in the area that have guided tours. It's a wonderful way to get closer to sake and see how sake is made.
I've chosen Dewazakura, Oka, or cherry bouquet, and for some of you, Dewazakura Sarasara Nigori. The Sarasara is the exact same sake, just with a little bit of sake leaves inside, changing the texture, and this is what we call a nama sake, so never been pasteurized, bright, light, and clean. The cherry bouquet, amazing with Comté cheese. The Nigori, a little bit fresher, brighter, so try these with springtime oysters. Beautiful combination. To start off, the cherry bouquet. Wow, it's just so floral. You can imagine smelling it just in the glass that you are literally sitting underneath the beautiful cherry blossoms right there in DC. White lily flowers, strawberry flowers, almost Asian pear on the nose. On the palate, it's clean and soft, light melon, almost a little bit of that same peach, and still floral and refreshing. Absolutely beautiful sake for the springtime and the time we're moving forward to in the summer. Let's try some Dewazakura, Sarasara, or Nigori Ginjo. As you can see, I mixed it up a little bit. So there's a little touch of sake leaves inside this. As I said, these are actually the exact same sake, just treated a little bit differently after we finish fermentation. This sake was pasteurized once. This sake has never been pasteurized. It's going to be a little bit bright, light, crisp, clean. On the nose, you can smell the same floral notes that you get with the cherry bouquet. A little bit more of a touch of coconut water than that white peach that we smelled in the cherry bouquet. But it's crisp, clean, soft aroma. Wow, that's absolutely delicious. The texture with a little bit of added leaves really rounds on the palate. It's bright because it's never been pasteurized, almost icy clean in its finish. A touch of that fruit, a little bit of melon that resonates in the oka itself, and again, there's a tiny bit of coconut. Really, really wonderful. Have this with a little bit of spice. It'll be great. Cheers.
This is called Hakai-san Junmai Ginjo. So let me break that down for you. Hakai-san is the brand name. Hakai-san Brewery is located in Niigata, Japan. That's on the Sea of Japan side of the main island. And this brewery is about 90 minutes by bullet train from Tokyo. Hakai-san is a very well-known brewery in Japan. And the region where they're located, Niigata, is known as Yukiguni. That means snow country. It's part of the Japanese Alps, and they're very famous for getting extremely deep snow in the winter. In the winter months, the snow can be 3, 4, 5, even 6 or 7 feet deep at any one time. Now, when that snow melts, it gives the brewery lots of pure, clean, soft snow melt water. And that water is used to make this sake. It gives the sake a really clean, light, and crisp edge. So when you taste the Hakai-san Junmai Ginjo, I hope you'll look for a really clean overall taste, a super crisp finish, and it's a very lightly dry impression. Also, the aroma is quite restrained. Not too bold, not too in your face, more reserved. And that's meant to pair very widely with different styles of food. When it comes to specific food pairing recommendations, the good news with the Hakai-san Junmai Ginjo is that you can pair this sake very widely. There's very little you can do wrong when it comes to pairing this sake. My feeling is that it's a bit on the lighter side, so I really look towards salads, lighter preparations of fish and chicken. And of course, if you happen to be having sushi or sashimi, this is a dream sake to pair with that classic Japanese dish that so many Americans enjoy. If you're having sushi or sashimi, this sake will cleanse your palate and be a perfect complement to those lighter styles of Japanese food. Now, if you're not having Japanese food, you can still enjoy Hakai-san Junmai Ginjo. If you have something like a Caesar salad or endive salad, those are wonderful. The little bit of bitter green pairs beautifully with this sake. Sometimes those bitter green vegetables or bitter green salads are a bit difficult to pair with wine, but the umami flavors that you get in sake pair wonderfully with those types of vegetable dishes. So experiment, have fun, and I really hope you enjoy pairing food with our Hakai-san Junmai Ginjo. I just have a regular wine glass here, and we're going to pour sake in here. All right. Now, when you look at the sake, you should notice a very, very clear appearance. This sake is charcoal filtered, so it'll give it an extra bright, shiny character. It should be absolutely clear. Let's give this a little swirl, and we're going to give it a smell first. Okay, when you smell this sake, the aroma is going to be much more restrained. If you're used to drinking wine, you may be used to more overt, perfumed aromas from wine. This style of sake is going to be a lot more restrained in the aroma department. You may notice hints of steamed rice, so a little bit of a ricey note in the aroma. And if you smell again, you may notice there's a back note, just a hint of something fruity. I sometimes pick up on very gentle summer fruits, like maybe a little bit of strawberry or just a hint of melon. Again, this is a back note, not the primary aroma. Now, when you taste this sake, you may notice, first of all, that it's very light, very clean, and the dryness level is kind of medium dry. It's definitely not sweet, and it's not bone dry either. It's that perfect middle of the road dryness. The finish is very clean, but very quick. It's a very palate cleansing finish. It's going to cleanse your palate, and then it's going to be gone. That type of super dry, super crisp finish is great for food pairing. Whatever you're eating, that type of finish on these dry, clean, and light sakes, that's gonna prepare your palate for the next bite of food. Clean and delicious. I really hoped you enjoyed tasting Hakai-san Junmai Ginjo with me. Next chance you get, check out this sake, and I really hope you're able to enjoy it at home.
This is the Rihaku Wandering Poet. You're probably drinking out of a 300 milliliter at home. So Rihaku is a sake producer located in Shimane Prefecture. So Shimane is southwest on the mainland of Japan. There are 47 prefectures in Japan, and Rihaku is in Shimane, which is the second least populated prefecture. This is a Junmai Ginjo, so I think you are going to taste more than one Junmai Ginjo tonight, but to break down what Junmai Ginjo means, Junmai means pure rice sake, and then Ginjo literally means sake brewed with great detail. It is fermented at a cold temperature for a long time so that the aromas really have time to express itself. So it should have some really nice fruity floral notes. And Ginjo also requires the rice to be polished enough to facilitate that cold, slow fermentation. So you're gonna have a sake with a lot of purity and elegance when you choose Junmai Ginjo. My favorite pairing with Rihaku Wandering Poet is definitely vegetables. I find that this sake goes so well with a lot of greens that are hard to pair with wine, whether it's cilantro or asparagus, broccoli rabe, kale salads. I think it's really hard to find a wine that goes with a kale salad, and this sake is just so beautiful with those slightly bitter greens. So the first thing I would invite you to do is stick your nose in the glass. Banana is a very common aroma when you enjoy sake, and I find that this has a beautiful, lush green banana, almost a plantain note, and very green in general. So thinking back to those springtime vegetables that we're so looking forward to, I get lemongrass, aloe vera, just really bright, fresh green scents. On the palate, I love the mouthfeel here. It's got a nice creamy mouthfeel, but it's very spicy on the finish. There's a nice drying characteristic as you finish it. Wine has tannins and a lot of acidity, and sake doesn't have any tannins, and so this drying quality on the end is just a really nice way to give the sake a beginning, middle, and end.
Cherry blossoms only bloom for about a week. So each year in springtime, we gather with our friends, sit under the cherry blossoms, laugh and tell stories, and enjoy sake. Enjoy some more sake, and then enjoy even more sake. Thank you for joining us today for the Pink Tie Party, and enjoy those cherry blossoms. Kanpai.